Right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for the kind invitation and the introduction to this well-renowned Congress. Really appreciate the opportunity, and the topic that I want to bring to you all, it has to do with the future ready HR, the future ready HR organization. And for that, we're going to look into some of the things that are happening today in the business world and the implication on the HR organizations. Now, I don't have a crystal ball, you don't have a crystal ball, and it's very difficult to 100% be accurate when you dream about the future. But there are some things that are very, very telling about the future when we analyze the present and the last few years. Then we can extrapolate from those things on what might happen in the near future and what implications they have in our organizations and in ourselves as HR practitioners. So what is the kind of future that we are referring to? Before that, I want to ask this rhetorical question to each one of you. Does your HR strategy look into the future or just defend the present? Does your HR strategy look into the future or just defend the present? And that's a question I ask myself and my organization, my HR practitioners in the region and in other regions to ensure that we're not just defending what the status quo is, what helped us come up to this point, but what will help us go beyond because of the things that we're seeing in the business world. So what kind of future are we talking about? What do we mean by the future? Well, the world is a world of constant change. You can ask now, or you can say actually, yeah, big deal, big news. The world has been changing ever since it started, right? So what is new about that? Well, the new thing about that is that you probably agree with me that in the last 2 to 3 years, we have seen a lot more change in the business world, in the enterprise, in every single industry that is probably represented here than the changes we saw in the last 10, 15, or 20 years cumulatively. So those changes, I'm going to talk about some of those, and then because of those changes, we will see some of the implications in our own functions as HR practitioners. The first thing is the quantum leap technological advance, exponential rate technological advance. If you think about the 3 things that I have pointed out with icons below, you will agree with me. First of all, we're seeing driverless cars, self-driven cars that before were a dream of some visionary that thought, well, maybe this would have an utilization in the future. Well, even though it is not mainstream still, it will become mainstream. And as it becomes mainstream, that will change dramatically everything that is related to logistics, everything that is related to transportation, individual or massive. And that will change dramatically also your function and my function. Your ability to help the organization prepare for such a change, therefore your strategy and my strategy will need to be looking into the future, not looking into what we see today that has been successful so far. The world of augmented reality and virtual reality that before, a couple of years ago, was only utilized for gaming is not any longer for gaming. eBay recently launched the first department store that is completely virtual, all through virtual reality. Imagine what that creates in the world of retail. Imagine what that will do in each one of the companies that you represent if you sell products to consumers. That will have a big implication. Therefore, it will be it will have a big implication in the way you design and implement and counsel your business leaders about the HR strategy that you need to run every year.